All right, welcome back to the Krueg Show. Larry Krueger with you as we look ahead to the NFL draft. And joining us this segment is former West Virginia Mountaineer, former Florida State Seminole, former ECU Pirate, Winston Wright Jr. is with us. The wide receiver is with us as we look ahead to the draft. Winston, thanks for a few minutes, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing well, man. Can't complain. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, we're excited for you. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know your hometown is Savannah, Georgia. You went to Memorial Day
Mhm.
High School
Yes,
and
sir.
then what? West Virginia was it? It was Florida State, West Virginia, or was it West Virginia, Florida State, ECU in that order?
Yes, it was West Virginia, Florida State, then ECU. Finished off at ECU. Yeah, so man, from Savannah, Georgia. Um, went to Memorial Day High School, and then decided to go to West Virginia. 3 great years, and decided to come back to school, and ended up going to Florida State, and ended up going there, battling some adversity. Enjoyed my time there, and then just decided, wanted something new, and ended up at ECU. And yeah, man, that's the story.
Well, tell us a little bit about your game. I think everybody kind of, if they don't know, if they haven't seen you play, I mean, you're kind of known for your versatility. You can play multiple spots, and you can contribute and be effective at multiple spots. Tell us a little bit
Mhm.
about your game. Where do you think you fit best?
Right, man. Yeah, my game. I'll just explain my game, man. Very versatile. Just going all the way back to when I first started playing football, man. Being able to play multiple positions. Um, I see myself, how it was used this year, in the slot, out wide in the backfield, and then of course in the return game. So man, just being a very versatile piece to a team, and coming to make an impact on special teams right away.
Now you didn't just help ECU this year as a receiver. I mean, there were multiple games where you carried the ball two, three times in a game.
Right.
You had three carries against Tulsa. You had three carries, a couple carries against Army. You had a couple carries against Liberty. Do you feel
Yes, sir.
comfortable as a running back?
Yeah, man. I'd say it's pretty natural. Been doing that since all the way from little league to high school. So man, just very comfortable with the ball in my hands, and it don't really matter which way I can get it, man. And look forward to doing the same things that I did in college at the next level.
You had a great game this year against FAU. You guys blew them out. You had three catches for 80
Mhm.
yards. You had a couple touchdowns. You had a 47 yarder in that game. Talk to us about the FAU game, or I guess it was a destruction, huh? Total destruction.
Yeah, man. FAU game, man. That was a great game. A Thursday night game. Man, and I feel as a team, we played, with a lot of confidence. My OC, he had some great play calls lined up, and we just went out there and executed, man, and it was a great night.
Tell us about your family. You got a couple. You got a couple siblings. This is Travis and Latrice, right? Tell us a little bit about growing up.
Right, man. Yeah, man. Grew up in the city of Savannah, man. Got two sisters from my dad and stepmom, and got a brother from my mom. So man, yeah, three siblings. So just want to be a positive role model, for them. Great family, man. Great, support system. From my coaches, my family, my friends. So man, yeah, I got a great support system, man, and and yeah, man.
It's awesome. I mean, it's important, right? It's important. How big of
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
role did Michael Thompson play in your life? I know he was your high school coach at Memorial Day.
Mhm.
How much did you learn from
Right.
Coach Thompson?
Yeah, man. It's crazy. I just end up, talking to Coach Thompson today. Just chopping it up for a few. But he played a great role model, man. Just not as a coach, but somebody that we can look up to. Just not me, but the other players that went to that school. We went there as freshmen. So he was there our whole 4 years, and kind of developed us not only as good football players, but great young men, just teaching us things that we need to know for life. Man, so Coach Thompson, man, great guy, great dude, and great coach.
Your career, you've been, you're not the biggest guy, but you've been incredibly durable throughout your career. You don't miss a lot of games. You
Mhm.
missed one season because of a car accident. Tell us a little bit about that situation. That had to be a setback for you, huh?
Yeah, man. Just battling that adversity, and just, listening to my body. Um, Probably could have, came back at the end of that season, but wasn't all the way healthy. But yeah, man, I take pride in, just being strong, and just being available, like you said, man, I haven't missed no games, just that one season. But yeah, man, I take pride in, putting the work in the off season to be able to, sustain that football is a long season. So just
Yep.
being able to sustain that, that impact, and being healthy all season.
You're a high, if people who watch your tape would see that you are a high IQ football player for sure. Where did that
Mm-hmm.
football intellect come from? Were you always a smart football player, or were you just well coached as a youngster? How do you become a high IQ football player?
Right, man. Just being first, you gotta just love the game. Been around the game for since I was 7 years old. So just being different coaches from little league, my dad, going to high school, just being around football 24/7. You get to pick up things, and you gotta to be successful at the college level and the pro level, man, you can't just be athletic. Something has to set you apart. So just being able to understand the game and film and why you're doing something is very important. It allows you to play faster, and then just knowing your opponent, like it's just the answers to the test going into the game. Uh, and it just allows you to be more. I say it allows you to be more successful.
When did you first dream the dream, Winston, of becoming an NFL player? Was it as a little kid? Was it in high school? Because I'm looking at your high school numbers. You weren't just good at Memorial Day High School. You were a three-time All-State player. You were an All-Regional player. You racked up
Yes, sir.
2,000 plus rushing yards, 3,000 plus receiving yards. And you played some quarterback. You played some defensive back. I mean, kick returning. I mean, you played in all phases of the game, two state
Yes,
titles.
sir.
I mean, seriously, you were a big time playmaker. Um,
Yes, sir.
was it high school that you said, you know what, I can play in the pros, or was it before that?
Man, it's always been a dream, man. Just how I grew up, man. I just be in the yard, playing 11 on 11, and it's just me out there. So, just really having that passion for the game, and then yeah, going to high school and being around, Coach Thompson, and then we had, a lot of great coaches. Man, I was around some great dudes, man, and it opened my eyes that I can really go to the NFL. Long as you just put the work in. Um, it don't matter where you go. I went like you said, man. I went to Memorial Day school before me. Nobody went, Power Five, so I was the first, to go to that school and do what I did, and then just go carrying that to the college level. At all the schools that I went to, man. When I was healthy, I was one of the best on the field. And then yeah, man, that it's just been a dream since I was small.
Who's your team? I mean, did you grow up as a football fan? Did you have a team or a player that you rooted for as a little kid?
Yeah, man, I always get asked that. I never had a team. I just like the, specific players. I know growing up, LaDainian Tomlinson, man, he was a great role model. Um,
Yeah.
players like Tyreek Hill, Puka Nakua, Cooper Cup, Chris Godwin, all Debo Samuel, man, all those players, man. I look up, to them, watch their film and try to, find things in their game to add it to mine.
It's so funny that people say, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. You know what I mean? And it's like you
Mhm.
mentioned Tyreek Hill. I mean, is there anybody in pro football that thinks of Tyreek Hill as small? No, because
Yeah.
he's the greatest player out there. I mean, the guy's a total dog,
Right.
and he'll do whatever it takes
Yeah.
to win. some coaches may have some concerns about your size. What are you hearing from NFL
Mhm.
teams when you're talking to them?
Man, I would say, in today's game, man, players like Tyreek Hill, help my case a lot, man. So just the feedback that I'm getting, that I'm a great slot receiver in return, man, and I'm needed, from teams in the league just because how the game is translated today. So, man, I'm happy where I'm at, and just want to go to a good team and a good fit, and make an impact.
No, I hear you. I hear you. I do the pre and post game for the 49ers, and I know the Niners are one of the teams that met with you. Do you remember meeting with the 49ers, and how did that meeting go? Who'd you meet with?
Yeah, man. Met a couple times, man, with different coaches. Hayden Frey.
Yeah.
Another scout, can't think of his name, and then the assistant receiver coach that's there. He actually recruited me in high school, man, when he was at Illinois. Uh,
Okay.
so yeah, man, got some great people down there that I built this relationship with, during this process, and then I got two former teammates down there that went to Florida State with me. So. Yeah,
You know
man.
Renardo?
49ers, man.
Are you
Yeah.
buddies with Renardo at all?
Yeah, man. That's my man.
He's a hell
Yeah,
of a
him and
player,
Tatum.
man. Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yes,
Tatum
sir, man.
Bethune's a hell of a guy too, man. Those are
Yes, sir.
I'll say this
So,
about Renardo. Renardo is serious, huh, man? I mean, he
sir.
does not he's not joking around, man. He's serious as a heart attack.
Yes, sir, man. That's how you gotta be.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So
Um,
man, yeah, just continuing that relationship with them, and yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Florida State, West Virginia, East Carolina. How would you compare the three stops? Obviously, they love their Seminoles in Tallahassee, but man, the
Right.
passion for West Virginia football is off the charts. I've seen
Mhm.
that backyard
Yeah,
brawl
man.
a few times, and man, they play for keeps. Colton
Hmm.
McKivitz is a Niner. He's a former West Virginia guy,
Oh
and
yeah,
then East
yeah. I play
Carolina.
with
I
them
mean
too.
ECU. Did you play with Colton? Colton's a good man. And
Yeah.
then ECU's
Yeah.
ECU's a hell of a place. So how would you compare those
Yes,
spots?
sir. Oh man, three great spots. West Virginia, like you said, man, great fan base, great town, great people. You know, um, just a great atmosphere. That you can go to college and feel that football atmosphere. The same with Florida State, man. You could feel like in Tallahassee, man, the fan base. That's when you're playing college football. That's what you ask for. Just going to a place where football matters. um, and then ECU, man. ECU is a great fan base as well, man. Football town. So three great towns, but three also great people, man, and great relationships that I built over these years just being there. Um, and yeah, man.
Okay, so we're going to fast forward to next year. You're going to be in the NFL. You're playing on a Sunday, and you fly, on a Friday or Saturday, and you're in whatever town, USA. You sit down in your hotel room on a Saturday at noon, and you flip on the TV, and on all three stations, you got West Virginia on ABC. You got
Hmm.
you got Florida State on ESPN, and you got East Carolina on CBS. Who are you more likely to watch? You gonna watch Florida State, West Virginia, or ECU next year?
Uh, I'm most likely probably gonna watch ECU just because
Yeah,
I'm fresh out of there. The
sure.
coaching staff is still there. Got a great bond with the coaching staff and the players, so excited to see what they do. And then, man, always cheering for my other schools, but those coaching staffs that was at West Virginia, that it's not there anymore. So I really don't know those people and the players that's there. And then Florida State, man, I'm rooting for them too. So yeah.
So if we go to your house and we're going through the closet, are we gonna find more Florida State gear, West Virginia gear, or East Carolina gear? Did you
you
keep all
pro
your gear,
you
or did you
pro
give away your FSU and
yeah.
West Virginia stuff when you went to ECU?
Nah, man, kept all of it.
Yeah.
My family still has some. So we got a lot of, I say all three, man. It's probably pretty even. It's probably pretty even.
You on the bench. Okay, so for those who don't know, the bench test is 225. You're a
Mhm.
receiver, you're 5'10", 190. You put up 15 reps at 225?
Yeah, I put up 17 reps.
17 reps. So now,
Yeah,
as
man,
a
I put
former
up
scout,
17.
Winston, that tells me that you're serious because
Yeah.
nobody cheats that. You know what I mean? There. If
Hmm.
you don't spend time in the weight room, you don't get 17 reps. You know what I mean? You
Right.
might get you might
Right.
get 3. You might get 7. 17
Right.
reps tells the scouts you really work at it. How much? Yeah, that number reflects a lot of time in the weight room, huh?
Right. Yeah, man. It just goes back to, being back in high school, just being able to work hard and, continue that, and just going to college and falling in love with the weight room in the process. And man, it kind of paid off. And yeah, man, my goal was 15. So just hitting 17 on pro day was big for me. And, I know it, it shows scouts that, I'm I'm durable, I'm strong, but you can also see it in my body, the work that I put in as well.
What's your best 40? What's your best 40 so far? It says here you ran 4.4, but is that, would you say that's the best number you've had, or yeah, have you beaten 4.4 at any point?
Yeah, man. So at Pro Day, actually, man, we ran on grass. Anybody knows, grass is slower than turf.
Sure.
Um, so at Pro Day, man, had a couple stopwatches at 4.38. A couple, 4.4. Couple mid 4.4. So, ran 4.43, but I would say, just speaking with my trainer that I train with, he's saying, 4.43 on grass is, 4.38 on turf. So, uh, about that high 4.3 range and low 4.4 range is, my fastest.
Who's the toughest guy you've gone against cover wise? Who's been? Have you gone up against anybody that you said, man, that guy was tough to get away from?
Man, through the years, played a lot of DBs,
Sure.
great DBs. I would say the toughest DB. Um, uh, I really like Za Frazier from UTSA.
Okay.
This year, I would
Underrated. Big
just say
kid.
this year. Yeah, man, very long kid, man. Actually, got a relationship with him, and like how he plays the game, man. He plays the game the right way, and yeah, rooting for him.
You had a meeting with the Niners. How great would it be to be a 49er? Have you thought about that at all?
Yeah, thinking about everything, man. But it'd be great, man. It'd be a blessing, regardless of what team I go to, man. But just if I was to go to the 49ers, just knowing, I know some people that I played with, familiar with, a couple coaches on that staff, uh, and then the way that they use Debo Samuel, man. I think I kind of fit that role.
You can jack of all trades and kind of do a bunch of different things. Um, okay, you make it in the NFL, you're a star, and all of a sudden you sign the big contract. What are you buying first? Have you thought about it at all?
Did you say what I'm gonna buy?
No,
You had
yeah, I
kind of cut
mean
out.
you can buy anything you want. Let's just say
Mhm,
you've made it as a your reality is you've made it in the league and you're getting that big
mhm.
contract. Um, what are you thinking of? What would you like to purchase?
What would I like to purchase? Probably later down the line, open up a gym in Savannah, Georgia.
Nice.
And just, motivate the youth and, show the youth that you don't really gotta go anywhere else to train. And we don't really have that down, here where I'm from. So that'd be one of, a big purchase, I would like to do later on.
Who has had the biggest impact on your career, on your life? I mean, outside of your family, is there somebody that's had a big impact on your career that you're like, hey man, I would not be on the verge of being in an NFL training camp here in July of 2025 without this person? Who would it be?
Oh man, I could name a lot of people.
Really?
But I would say, other than my family, I had a great athletic director in high school, out of Mark Susserman. Man, and he was great support system, man, too. So just I mean that support, goes a long way, just all the way from high school, him believing in me, um, retiring my jerseys in high school, both basketball and football. So man, yeah, he was a great support system for me.
What do your buddies call you? Do they call you Winston? Do they call you what do they call you? What's your nickname? Do you have a nickname?
Yeah, yeah. So man, my nickname is Champ. Everybody, my
Champ?
close friend, they call me Champ. Yeah, a lot of people that I played college, they call me Jet. So those are the two nicknames that people call me.
Nice. Last one for you, man. We appreciate your time. There's a lot of young people that look up to guys like you. It's like there's a lot of guys who are, they're eighth grade, ninth grade, 10th grade. They're dreaming the dream right now, man. And they're looking at guys like you and going, man, I want to be that guy. I want to be that guy. I want to light it up for ECU. I want to make it in the NFL. What would you
Right.
say to them if you were talking to a room full of young high school aspiring college and pro football players, and they all wanted to be
Mhm.
you? They are all dreaming your dream, and they want to know what you know, and they want to learn what you've learned. What could you say to them, or what would you say to them to try to help them, achieve their goals? I mean, what have you learned in this process of trying to go after an NFL career that you'd want to impart to them?
Right. Man, I would just say, man, be yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself, man. Be confident in yourself, man. But that confidence comes from your work. So, you just gotta keep working. And then, man, just be patient, man. It's gonna be trials and tribulations. So you just gotta stay focused, man, and keep fighting. Um, and yeah, man, just never give up, man, and prove yourself right. Don't try to prove anybody. Just prove yourself right, because there's gonna be a lot of naysayers. So I'll say just prove yourself right.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Because you're right. There's going to be adversity, man. There's going to be adversity, right? Somebody's going to tell you, you ain't good enough. And then that's when you got to
Right.
stand
Yep.
up and say, hey, I am good enough. And I'm going to show you. Hey, we'll call you Champ. Champ, thanks for coming on. Hey, man,
Yes,
I would
sir.
love to see you. I'd love to see you in that Niner uniform. Oh, man, that
Yes,
would be
sir.
that would be amazing seeing your return kicks at Levi's. But nonetheless,
Yes,
whether you're a
sir.
Niner, an Eagle, a Chief, a Raider, man, we wish you nothing but a great career. Thanks for jumping on here and telling us a little bit about your travels, and we wish you nothing but success, man. Where do you think you're going on the draft? If what's the feeling going to be like when you hear your name called? What is that going to be
Man,
like?
it's gonna be a blessing, man, and just knowing, all my hard work, paid off, man. Just grateful for any opportunity. So, man, it's gonna be a blessing for sure.
Winston, thanks, man. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Appreciate you.
Take care.